Forza Horizon 4 is set in Great Britain, and nothing is more British than James Bond. That's just a scientific fact. And because they know this, Playground Games have given you 10 cars from the films to muck about in. Right, it's James Bond, so there's going to be a lot of Aston Martins, obviously. First up is the DB5, which appeared in a total of 7 Bond films. Sadly, the Forza recreation doesn't have an ejector seat. Lazy Playground. Lazy. This car hardly features in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but is pretty prominent right at the end of the film when James uses it to drive his wife away after their wedding. Unfortunately, she gets shot. Cheers for putting this one in Playground. Oh, poor old Tracy. Tracy you. Now we're talking. Awesome for hooning about the streets of Bangkok. In Forza, you'll have to make do with Derwent, but you can still pull off sick jumps like this one. Although you will have to add your own penny whistle sound effect. This is genuinely in the actual film. Roger Moore stayed away from the Aston Martins and all that, preferring more sophisticated cars like the Lotus Esprit S1, which could transform into a submarine. Don't get that with an Aston. Unfortunately, in Forza, you just slosh around in big puddles, not actually go underwater.
Stop getting Bond wrong!
Bond's all about fast, sexy cars, and apparently they don't come faster or sexier than the Citroen 2C V6. Look at her go. Roger Moore really doubled down on the whole "I'm too good for an Aston Martin" thing, didn't he? Moore's gone, Dalton's in. The best Bond, some might say. And we're back with an Aston Martin V8, which in the living daylights proved is probably the best car ever for winter conditions and smashing up sheds. You can also use it to bosh around a slate quarry in a place that, although says it's Lakehurst in England, is actually based on the Penrhyn slate quarry near Brychmelyn in Wales. It's not Colwyn Bay, Tim, but it'll do. While Brosnan had his fair share of Aston Martins, he also loved a little go in a BMW. To be honest, it's hardly in the film. He drives through a forest for a bit, and then is cut in half by a helicopter.
Hugh's not gonna like this.
Essentially, this is just a darker version of the Casino Royale car that Daniel Craig drives in the opening action scene of Quantum of Solace. It's probably one of the best things about that mess of a film. Right, this isn't even a Bond car, but the concept Jaguar driven by Dave Bautista's baddie Mr. Hinks in Spectre. Bit cheeky that, and now our license plate joke doesn't work either. Nice one, Dave. Don't worry though, they redeemed themselves here by putting in the Aston Martin DB10, the prototype intended for 009, which Bond nicks and then crashes into a river. Classic Bond. Those are all the 10 Bond cars in Forza Horizon 4. If you want to know more about the game, watch our evolution of the Forza series and our comparison of Britain in real life and in the game.